Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, here to share with you our latest issue. This segment, the glamorous prom corsage. Prom is such a big deal. It's evolved a long ways from when I was a kid. I'm going to date myself, but my prom was held in the high school gymnasium. Today's kids would just scoff at that. Proms today are in the ballroom. They're bigger, they're more glamorous. Kids arrive, well, young adults, or adults as they'd like to think they are, they arrive in limos, or by helicopter, or by horse and carriage. It's kind of amazing. And they spend months getting ready for their big day. As professional florists, we need to pay attention, watch the trends, and prepare ourselves so that we know what to provide for them to be perfect. And where do I look? The best place that I have found for a prom resource is the winter awards shows, especially the Oscars. Watch what the stars are wearing as they go down the red carpet and get a clue for what the promers are going to be asking you for. This year, so many of the dresses were glamorous. Lots of beading, lots of rhinestones and crystals, and the colors were neutral. Nude, beige, ivory, silver. Lots of soft, blending colors with that old world Hollywood glamour. And this corsage, the glamorous wrist corsage, is perfect for the trends that I saw this year. The base of the corsage, the slap bracelet from the Oasis company. Comes in shimmer white, perfect base. It's adjustable, fits even the smallest wrists and the larger wrists without any problem. Then to add a touch of glamour, that detailing, the bling, the beautiful silver beads, the mega beads. They come in different colors, silver, white, iridescent. For this, the silver will be perfect with the shimmer white. And then white Dendrobium orchids, very elegant, classy. And then for the foliage, Dusty Miller in this soft silvery gray. Everything will be perfect. To work, I pull it open so that I have a nice straight piece, and then everything's going to glue right to the plastic tab. So I lay it out, ready to work, and then I start in. Got the beads, and if you've worked with these, you know they're a little difficult to pull off, but the key is patience, and just kind of roll and wrap, and roll and wrap, and then they unwind. If you try to force it, you'll make yourself crazy. So I've done quite a bit already undone. So that's ready to work with. And then I've got a little bit of ribbon so they can soften, add a little bit of femininity. I start with a bow. And I just do loopy. Not too much, because I just need a tiny, tiny bit. And the black probably doesn't even hardly show for you. But I've just got 3 loops on each side. And then I'm going to tie this off with a wire. Don't want very much, just a tiny bit. Then clip the wire off. So that all I have is this little bit of ribbon. It's going to go onto the base. So it'll work in with all the flowers and the beads to give me a little bit of texture. To attach it, the Oasis Floral Adhesive. Just a small bit on the back. Doesn't take very much. If you want to be extra secure, you can take and put a little bit of glue on the band itself. But again, just a tiny bit. Then let it start to dry, because it will bond better once it begins to set. So you kind of blow on it, and then place the 2 together, angling them just a little bit. Now comes the fun, easy part. Adding in the beads, pulling it up. I'm going to let them dangle down, hanging, and then just wrap them. So that I create a wad of beads in the center, then give it a clip, and then that wad is going to glue right into the bow area. So I go back, a little more glue, And wad is a technical term. Blow on it. Let it begin to dry. And then setting those beads right into the glue. Letting them hang down. Letting the loops of the ribbon come between. So I get a cluster of beading, bit of ribbon, and then baubles hanging down so that when it's worn, there'll be a little bit of movement in the air. As I finish this portion, you can just go ahead and set it down. Make sure that it has dried, and then go back and add the foliage. Now if you want any extra beads, you can go back and add them at this point as well. Maybe taking and clipping off a segment, letting that hang down out of the way, and then just taking the top bead, a little bit of glue directly on it. Let it begin to set, and then glue it right into the rest. So now I've got 3 streamers coming down, and that's just going to glue right in and hold itself nice and steady. Then going back to the leaves, and I just need little ones. I don't need very much, but just a touch of this softness to add some texture, a little bit of variation on the color. Clipping it down, and then just a dab of glue right on the end. And again, it doesn't take very much because it's such a sturdy glue. You can just lift and slide it between the loops of the ribbon. Down in between the beads. And then another one in between the loops of the ribbon. Maybe one last one right close to the accent area to draw attention up here to the center. And then once again, wait for a bit for it to dry before you add your flowers. As professional florists, one of the big challenges is getting all the prom corsages done at the last minute. The beauty of this design is you can do it up months in advance, which you don't have the order months in advance, but as soon as you get the order, you could do up the base with the beads and the bow. Then, days ahead of time, you can go back and add the foliage. Then at the last minute, the day before the event, then go back and add your flowers. I'm just going to use the little Dendrobium florets, removing them completely from the stem. Just want the beautiful blooms. And then a little bit of glue right on the back. And letting it set for a moment so that it dries. That way when I tuck it in, it'll stay in place without shifting. Then just taking it, feeding it into the beads, tucking it, holding it till it feels secure, bringing another, lifting, tucking, maybe one more right down over here, find the perfect hole, there we go, tucking it, and holding it just till it goes secure. You could stop here, and it's really lovely as it is. Or if you wanted to add a little more glamour, bringing some of the dendrobiums down into the beads. To do that, lay them out, look at how they fit together, and then using your U-glue dots. These are so fun. Have you worked with them yet? Absolutely love them. Gives you another alternative for adhering flowers. So you can actually put the dot directly on the orchid. Then pulling it off, it's got a little paper tab that you remove. That end there, there we go. Stay put. Finding the tab end is always the challenge. Then, once you've got the dot on the flower and my finger, you take it and adhere it right to the wire and one of the beads. And it will stay there very, very securely. And it's clear, so you don't have to worry about it showing. It's the one problem with cold glue is sometimes it gets that little yellow residue, and it would show in this instance. But with the glue dots, you don't have that at all. So you just pull it off, stick it to the flower, finding that end again, always the challenge. There we go. Then finding a perfect spot to adhere it. And then maybe one more. On the back of the flower. Find the tab and pull it off. And then maybe clear down at the bottom where it's going to hang freely. Just stick it directly to the bead and the wire. We've come so far from the days that I was a prommer. I think back to all the wiring and taping and those simple silver bands. We still use these, they're still fabulous, but they certainly aren't grand like this with the glamorous. Now we have so many great tools. The slap bracelets, the Oasis Flow adhesive, the U-glue dashes, so many different things that we can use to add glamour to our corsages. Makes me want to be a prommer again. Nah, I don't want to go back to those days. I'm happy as an adult. For more creative inspiration, check out our website at flowerschool.com. If you've got questions, can't find something, feel free to contact us either through the website or by telephone at 1-800-819-8089. If email is easier, feel free to use my personal email. It's Leanne, Leanne, at floraldesigninstitute.com. For now, happy prom time to you. Have fun and do something you love.